Hello, 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 hello. This is the African Actions Network to a radio, and I'm sitting here this morning. And how you doing, every one of you, Liberians especially? How you feeling? How you feeling after the intense campaign? How you doing? Well, it's coming closer, right? The time is coming for governance. There is few steps still remain. We are hoping to get the final result of the runoff election, even though we get insight as to what is expected, meaning that the fact that President Weah has conceded of not being able to win the elections is now believed that Joseph Boakai will be or is the presumed winner of the 2023 presidential elections. But besides that, there are some few steps to remain. We can't say he is the president. Many of us are making a mistake to say he is the president-elect. No, we are not the one to say. The Election Commission has the sole authority to pronounce, not George, to pronounce Joseph Boakai as the winner of the presidential election. But from all indications, from all that's going around, we can say safely that Joseph Boakai is certain to be the winner of the election. I'm saying these things because sometimes these little things, there are some young people coming up, and as long as we do not say the right thing, we do not do the right thing, they probably take the wrong thing to be the right thing. And then you have the entire nation going in a direction that is not supposed to be. So it is safe and right to say Joseph Boakai is the presumed winner of the presidential election. He is yet not the president-elect because the constitutional body established to conduct election, the National Election Commission, has not done that. More so, there are a few steps still happening. I mean, they're supposed to do recount and a runoff. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the president conceding. That does not in any way negate the reality that there is a constitutional process that is ongoing. We almost noticed that. Now, let me throw in something. Maybe it's just to bring tears, most of you. Some people may want to go to with this kind of thing. Why, if the election commission from her tally sheets find out, like George Weah get one person, one vote above Joseph Boakai, what should happen, right? Should they get the election to George Weah, whereby he has already conceded? These are critical questions, right? You ask these questions sometimes just to think out of the box and be able to have a very mature and professional discussion. What if the commission found out that there are some fundamental problem with their own numbers and came out to make those clarifications and say, guess what? I mean, for all of these, they gave justification, all the rest. Although what I'm saying, if that was ever to happen, that would be chaotic. That would not be what is expected. But I am not saying that's what's going to happen. But when you are a human being, you are an educated person, you are a professional man, you are a thinking person. These are thoughts you have in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be, right? Because everybody's mindset right now, in fact, the election commission cannot even try that. You have people getting the street because the mind of people will be where the commission is trying to cheat. But it's not that. All I'm saying to you, is like you are doing a piece of algebra problem, right? And for some reason you solve the problem. Maybe you're solving for x, and then when you solve and came down, you say, okay, x is 2. X is equal to 2. But then you look at the problem keenly. Some of you like math, like myself, right? You look at the problem keenly and say, no, I think I missed a step. Maybe it should be -2. And now I said 2. X is equal to -2. Instead of saying -2 and I want to say x is 2. So with this kind of situation, then of course you have problem, right? But you can't say you're going to submit your x is equal to 2 to your professor because you know you will fail. So you have to go to make a correction and say, well, x is equal to -2 instead of x is equal to 2. Now, in this kind of situation, human errors could happen. Don't get me wrong, because I know some those die-hard people, then these are the things you can discuss with them. They will almost want to cuss you and chew you up, right? That's what I'm talking about. If you are one of those persons, then you don't need to be here. Because why? Some of us believe as long as you live, you have an obligation to always look at things keenly and be able to factor in those circumstances that is probable to play in. Joseph Boakai is said to be the winner. He's a presumed winner of the elections. Everything is well, but guess what? The election commission is not going to say, we will throw this out. If any of them even thinking that way, let me caution them. They have a constitutional task to complete the process and announce the result. It's not because Georgia has conceded. There's a constitutional process that must be completed. Yeah, I know some people don't want to think that way. They just feel that they're waiting for inauguration. No, that's not it. You still have a process. If there are even challenges, there are complaints filed. The Constitution laid down groundwork how many days that should take before even the final result is announced. So when you are rejoicing, you must act like educated people. You must do things like Liberians are thinking. The international pattern that over there should not see you people like you people are people who don't think out of the box. So when we have the kind of situation, we want Liberia to begin to this, especially so the media. There were some issues that even happened to the media people not even discussing it. There were some young people at that press conference at the election commission. Some of them still need to be trained. You're asking questions you probably don't even know how to, you don't know the setting you find yourself in. Oh no, media people don't want to hear that when you say this and then they want to get mad, right? But when you serve, if I was asking myself, why did media institutions send those people, those kind of a hard program? You expect the managing editors or the managing editors should be at that kind of program, because guess what? You're talking about figure, you're going to be making analysis of whatever going to come from the election commission's mouth. So when you're sending people there, you must send people. In fact, before you go there, maybe you send even any young reporter, you might be able to, you the managing editor or the manager of a paper or of a radio station, you must be able to monitor so that your reporter you're sending to do kind of a half forum will not make some major error that you will not know nothing about. In fact, any kind of technology, if you want someone to ask questions, the manager can call the reporter, look, listen, from what we have heard, this is a question, you can ask this question, or something you text your reporter. If the manager cannot go there, the managing editor cannot go there, or the manager of the paper cannot go there, or the senior reporter of the institution cannot go there, then of course you people must be by the radio so that you can be able to guard the young reporter you are sending there. When we were studying mass communication, the people even told us how to stand. The world is different now. And media people, everybody can stand on and grow their wing like they're the one, right? No, that's not it. The media, all you want is that information. So you must be very submissive. Sometimes you bow to the point where you have to get on your knee. Because guess what? Those who give you the news, they are the one that you submit yourself when they get the information. But things are different these days, right? Like even when we were at the Capitol building, covering, running around, going to offices and all of this stuff, you don't go and then somebody giving a press conference, then you're standing up, then you grow your wing or something, your hands in your pocket and all of this stuff. These are the fundamental errors that senior media people should be correcting now. So it's not just about that election result, it's about even the setting. Look at the setting and be able to say something. Can you warn your reporter the next time they're going to look at a program what they need to do, what they can't do, out of the stuff? So when election result is announced and people go to the kind of forum that come from there, what the media institutions are discussing themselves. I mean, I'm just giving a piece of them piece of my discussion to them, right? They must be able to say, look, there was a young reporter over there. I monitored that thing. I felt, oh my God, I hope the institution that he's from will be able to call him and coach him so that next time he go to the kind of program, he will know exactly how to behave, how to ask questions. You're not asking questions in an arrogant way. You ask questions. Look, the media is a unique profession. There are creeds. There are things to do. That all of those things affect the image of the country. You listen to the European Union press conference, right? They raised some issues. And some of those issues the European Commission raised, they are very genuine. Not just the election process, but for the democracy that's been run. So it means when I hold the European Commission, I felt these people are keeping their eyes on everything concerning Liberia. They talk about social media, how the social media, some people are on social media, and they are right. We Liberians, we don't know how to pick these things. All we do is to glorify people. The spoon network, they make a lot of fundamental error. In fact, they don't act like media people. But guess what? Everybody read the story, just oh yeah, because people want to hear what their mindset is all about. People don't care these days. If you want to speak truth to people, they get ignored. But the media, the journalism, communication is what do I say? It has its own set of rules. If you go out of the box, people should point to you and say, these are the rules. Now, even the press union of Liberia, we don't know what is happening. The press union of Liberia is that they are all in disarray. So who is guarding the media? No one is guarding the media these days. Everybody do their own thing, especially with the proliferation of social media. Anybody can pick up a phone and become a journalist overnight. But these are issues that will border the image of the country. So that by the time you go out, listen to BBC, listen to CNN, listen to MSNBC, all of these network, all of the big media tech, sometimes you monitor them. Somebody who even just want to become a photojournalist and they commit themselves to it. When they're taking picture, they know what kind of a picture they're taking. When they're in the forum, like the National Election Commission, they're not just there because they want to be there. They're looking around the setting. Is there any picture that can make news? They're looking for the kind of images to take. The Election Commission chair herself, she make a mistake. That mistake she made, it was serious. But somebody caught it so early. That 0.42 and saying 42, that was a serious error. And she was reading the script. So this kind of a situation, those are an international media people would use that to be a discussion, right? But nobody care to open these kind of matters up for discussion. Everybody just say, okay, because the media themselves, many of them, they have a lineage with political institution. Either they were we are or they were Joseph Boakai. And they lead their independent position. And so because of that, they don't use their independent eye to see things. And these are the things that hurt the country. It's not just about the government aspect. It's not just about government. The media is called the fourth estate for a very important reason. They are supposed to check on the three branches of government. And three branches of government right now, as you see, the Election Commission is part of one of the branches of government, even though it's a constitutional creature. But these are the things that should be monitored. You can't talk too much. People say, well, the next simple thing, and I'm getting a book coming here, and I'm booking that. Society was built before you were even born, before your father was born, before your great-grandparent was born. There was a certain situation, things were set into motion. So we cannot deviate from this thing. All we can do is to blend those things with the reality of the day. So that's what the world is all about, right? You don't sit and just say, well, how Joseph Boakai, George Weah, we don't hate none of those people, some of us, right? But guess what? There is a reality of every occurrence, every event, there's a reality of it. There's something that is for example, let me measure this. If this my coat was white, you can't change it to say it's black. Right? So when someone is saying the wrong thing, you can't join that person to continue to say the wrong thing. No, don't get me wrong. I'm just looking at the trend of event, the things that have happened. Election is almost over with. We still have a few more steps. The Election Commission is still to complete her task and announce the result and certificate individuals. From there, they all will wait for inauguration. First thing the legislature will have to take. Let me tell you something. Something fundamental happened during Ellen turning over power to George Weah. We caught that, right? But many persons did not pay attention to that. When I went to Liberia 2019, I went after that. I did not get it. And what was it? You got to realize that the national legislature, that was what? The 53rd national legislature, got dissolved earlier. And an issue came up. And that issue was what? The issue was the venue for the inauguration of George Weah was to be changed. They wanted to use the SKD. But the Constitution says that the president of the Republic of Liberia should be sworn where? In the capital or the city, not constantly the statute, right? The president, the inauguration should take place where? Within the capital of Monrovia. Now, Pinsville SKD was outside of Monrovia. Now, these are things that young people maybe want to argue about, right? Except there will be a legislation to extend Monrovia, but Monrovia does not, SKD does not fall in Monrovia. It's outside of Monrovia. So they wanted to do that. So, but guess what? They have to use the 54, this legislature that's on now. And take note of this. They had to use the 54th legislature to pass a resolution. A fundamental constitutional error. They used the 54th legislature to pass a resolution, right? And guess what? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was never to sign such a resolution because the legislature that was in power on her legislative body that was sitting, they have already dissolved that. So you cannot use the incoming legislature to pass a piece of legislation and then the outgoing president to sign a resolution. The 54th legislature should pass only a legislation that should have been signed by George Weah, because it was a Weah's administrative term under which the 54th legislature came to be. But that fundamental error was made, and even all of those big government people, some people knew it, but they tried to micromanage the situation because it was already late. Now, what could they do if they were all respectful of the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Liberia? They would have allowed George Weah to take the oath either at the return of the Capitol building or the surrounding or whatever they would have decided in Monrovia, and then they would have had a celebration at the SKD. You could have had a small unit, even with the delegation. You could have had then just few people plan your big program at the SKD, respect the Constitution and the laws of Liberia at that place, and then you move on to your celebration. But when Liberian people ready to do something, they don't care even if they will breach a constitution, they go ahead and do the wrong thing. And everybody's singing along with it. They don't mind what they said. But guess what? After that resolution, for some ever reason, somebody has taken out of the system. That was a resolution that should still be on the record. Everybody should know that. When I went to the library, I probably went to the Capitol building. I asked for that resolution. I did not see it. I went to the chief legal officer. I did not see it. I went to the Liberian Senate. I did not see it. You cannot treat Liberia in that form and think you're doing the right thing. When you do the wrong thing, people might be able to point out to you, say, this thing you're doing is wrong. And many person would think, say, oh no, as long as their will, what they're thinking about, what they desire has come to pass, then they all feel that everything is well. No, the wrong thing will always be the wrong thing, no matter who is involved. So that's some of the things. So we're watching that. You know the reason why I'm telling the little story? Because similar thing could appear. They could go ahead and dissolve the 54th legislature, and the new legislature could come in, and maybe something will happen. Why Joseph Boakai still want to do his inauguration at SKD? What should happen? There's a law that says you're not supposed to do that, right? So you want to amend the law to have an elaborate celebration outside of the constitutional boundary point. And of course, what you do, there are proper way to do it. So that you cannot go and dissolve the legislature at the earlier time. Then you want to take an action that should be taken on them, and when you already dissolve them. So we say this so that those who want to be on the planning committee, the inaugural committee, they themselves will always be, people must be knowledgeable. There are times people become cadet, so they can learn everything along the way, so that when government comes out, so those who will be in the process will not make no mistakes, that people will come and see them and, hey, guess what the people are doing? Okay, that's all about it. But the major issue to this, what is that? Everybody rejoicing right now, right? Oh yeah, you voted. Oh yeah. When you vote, those who study government says you surrender all of your rights as a people to a few group of people to run your activities. What Liberians are about to, they have done it. Right now, what we do, you're the finishing touches. But you are already surrendering yourself to whoever going to become president, which of course Joseph Boakai stands in that position. You are surrendering your right to him. So your right to have electricity, your right to have your children to have free meal, your right to have better health care, your right to have security, your right to everything that concerns your being is being surrendered. So Joseph Boakai will have to make the decision now to say, okay, you're going to have employment. We're going to bring companies. How that going to be? For me, let me be honest with you. I have not seen the clear plan of Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai for come and get me right. I have not seen the clear plan. How Joseph Boakai hope to bring electricity to Morovia? Is he going to do the hydro? They go to the hydro plant where you get electricity? Is he going to go through the same thing that Joe we were doing, going here, there, you know, bringing peace, music, something like that? Is it what he's going to do? I personally, I don't know yet how Joseph Boakai intend to take Liberia out of darkness. That doesn't mean I'm going to be a disrespecter of the elected president of Liberia. But the issues about, we'll keep discussing it. Even George will leave the same, we don't care. But the issues about, when we take this platform, we want to discuss the issues for what? The greater good of Liberia. There have been series of government over and over. Liberia has not changed. Is just about going to change it? Maybe. That's what a rational man would say. Maybe the woman will make a difference. And we do not hope that he will do the worst. The first one we'll be watching for right now, what is it? Okay, I'm watching for key ministerial position. Who are those going to occupy the position? By the time Joseph Boakai named his cabinet, we can then begin to surmise, oh, the Omer will do well. I mean, he has started a very good job. His government reflect the word of the people. We're going to see those things. If we don't see it, I'm not going. Look, let me be honest with you. Some of you who want to be blindfolded and things say you don't get hair on your shoulder, you're not going to be some of us. It's just about appoint competent people as ministers of his government, and then the same old. Let's say what new wine in old bottle, right? If we see by the time we start hearing new wine, is that what new wine? No. Oh, what is it? What is the statement? Old wine in new bottle. Yeah, I think that's a phrase. Old wine in new bottle, right? By the time we start seeing old wine, they're seeing King juice. You are drinking every freaking day. We start seeing the same faces on your stomach. Then you find I want to be the one saying the Liberian people will get on your back. Right? So there are things that people watch out for right now. What we're doing is election commission complete your tax. Go and give us that big celebration certificate. Everybody, legislature certificate, then call Joseph Boakai certificate and congratulate him. Then the next thing that inauguration. Joseph Boakai should be able to form, maybe by this time they're doing the discussion, right? Because the election there are a lot of things that are clear right now. He should be setting his inaugural committee. And the inaugural committee get us some serious obligation. By this time, they should be writing George. We are putting, not George writing, they can't write George we are right now, but they should be having some very serious discussion. Look, there are some, by the time the election commission is over with, just because of inaugural committee, they should be warning the government. Because this is at the time people can steal plenty. This is the time those who are preparing, those who have money in the system want to get it from all spheres of the government. People in the legislature where they have some money into the national budget and they have not come through, they want to make sure they get it out before something else happens. Those who have projects, or maybe some money sitting out somewhere, like the county development fund, all of those things, people want to start collecting those things now. So the inaugural committee should be there to make, in fact, the inaugural committee should now put, there will be a team going to the different ministry and agencies so you can block some major issues so that you can go. You're not going to stop the government. You're not supposed to interfere in George Weah's government yet. Let me send that clearly. George Weah is still president until inauguration. What's going to happen? You can sit as president-elect and allow people to siphon more money, or the few money you're supposed to go and start with, you get them getting it out. That's the time maturity comes in. You approach leaders and get them cooperating, and those outgoing government officials should also cooperate with the incoming government officials so that you can have clear ways of maintaining power and stability in the country. So we're going to be looking at these things. It's all about government. It's all about Liberia. You cannot sit down and pretend that you don't know how government should look, because that's how Liberia has felt over the years. A particular group of people get elected, They forget the very issue and start doing the very same old thing. Right now, let me tell you something. There are people who some of us thought were morally upright, but they have started doing some wrong. This is the thing, right? Um, I will discuss that later on another show. But we have to start talking about these things. All of those who were spotted by the US government or doing something wrong, Joseph Boakai must not make those mistakes. He must take his time to investigate some of those matters if you want to bring other people into government. You have to do that. It's not because Joe Weir, maybe everybody will say, okay, the man or the bad man, okay, we say that. But before, those who were under Joe Weir government, and for some, if they were dismissed, if they resigned, or there was something that went wrong, whether financial malpractices or something, everything that went wrong, you cannot come and think those people are clean at this time and put it into government. Those are the fundamental wrong that we're going to be watching for. You can't do that. Liberia have 5 million plus presses. You want any good librarian, get them from anywhere. You can't bring those same old crooks and put it in the government. So we'll keep watching. Yeah, it's good to keep watching because you don't do that, we'll waste another 6 years. Liberia will waste another 6 years. So you have to be serious. You have to know how to determine how you're going to form your government. There are some people who are being masquerading all around the place. Some people want to be information minister. Some people want to be justice minister. Some people want to be finance minister. Some people want to be maritime commissioner. Some people want to be, you need everything you think about. But guess what? Some of them don't have the pedigree. Some of them, they don't have the requisite criteria. But because they've been causing all around the place, they are expecting position. I wrote something the last and I said, well, some of you, very soon, you will start causing Joseph Boakai. Because you get a big ambition. I want to be information minister. I want to be the press secretary to the president. I want to be the finance minister. I want to be the justice minister. With all of the big ambition, it is my hope that Joseph Boakai will have a very tight team that will form a government that will represent the aspiration of Liberians. Because by the time Joseph Boakai starts making a very first mistake in his appointment, you will hear the noise. It's better for the noise to be with those who thought they could be and they are not, rather than having the noise from the Liberian people on President Boakai. Mr. President Boakai, on Joseph Boakai when inaugurated as president. So you have to watch for these things, right? Because some people should still be cadet and they want to be ministers. It doesn't work that way, not because you feel like somebody, you should be cadet. If we are ever making a mistake and give you certain position, and for any reason this government want to consider you, they should give you the position that you really deserve, that your criteria, your educational background, whatever you have, you don't mind because you be in government. That's the mistake people made, right? I love somebody saying in government one time they see that person like what? Be an experienced person. Like I heard Joe Weir himself saying that thing one time, and I just said, oh my God, Joe Weir, where did he come from for joining the politics? Now you want to criticize other people who were vying to take power. He felt like, well, you are more experienced than all of those people out there. How? Experience come in many ways. Maybe we'll take some time to start discussing some of the little things, right? How do people determine experience? Right? Look, to go to school, now you don't that one day business. That plenty days, plenty years, plenty suffering and everything inside. Someone who really went to school very well. That's why in America, of other places of professionalism, they will use measurement. Even though the president has the appointing power, but I'm sure there are some good names we're hearing around Boakai. And we are very certain that they will use a good measurement to appoint people into government. All right. If they themselves say that they feel, oh, trust us, you can't bring somebody into government. For example, the foreign ministry, right? We know people that were in the firm that could make Joe Weir government reputable. But Joe Weir decided not to do that. There are people who grew up in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs They are competent. They could be respected by the international community. You left them, and when you took somebody, you want to be this person, so person. At the end of the way, you end it up. This is how you end it up. When you're supposed to have, Joey, I was discussing with somebody, right? And these are some of the things we talk about doing the campaign. Why did Joey suffer the campaign? Can any people tell me? Why do you think Joey suffered the campaign? One of the cardinal reasons why Joey suffered the campaign, you're fighting all around the place, was when you do not balance governance. There's a law that says that you should appoint 2 persons from every country to be in the head of government, ministers. So if you have good people that you appointed into government or that you appoint into government, and you have all of the countries have representation, campaign time, you don't need to worry yourself, because these people, if they work well, they would have sold the image of your party or your government. So when it's campaign time, you're not going to be running around. The president should not be surfing around billboard all around the place, wasting money, all those things. That's another thing. Another thing, since I said that, I'm just doing some random discussion here, so don't hold me this and that. Another thing that we're also going to be watching for, campaign funds. It's just going to be going after those things. The European Union said state resources wasn't balanced, and they don't have to say it. We all know that things were going wrong. Even with ERBC, the European Commission also nipped the ERBC. The new state broadcast system or corporation, 80%, according to the EU, towards George Weah, and left the rest of the people. These are things that people should watch out for. But what I'm concerned about, the Election Commission herself, I don't know whether they're going to go after checking for campaign finances, where the people get money from, how much the people spend. In fact, there's a law that says they're supposed to make that report. So we don't know whether they're going to do that. If they don't do that, is the elected president going to go after these things to find out whether if people use state resources to campaign? Of course, they should refund. They should put that money back. They shouldn't have done that. If they did that, they should put the money back. So these are things sometimes we're all going to be watching out for and see what they're going to be doing, right? But generally today, we want to say, Liberian, your expectations are more, and you have all reason. There's no reason that any good person will be born in a perfect society and will not have a way to progress, will not see opportunity to tap into. The world is changing dramatically. Even Liberians can use computers. We can type very well. We have our own little shortfall in doing research. We don't know what is happening around, or people talking about artificial intelligence. We don't even know the advantages into those things, because why? We don't even have electricity. So the children that are even coming up, they're not prepared. You buy an iPad for a child cannot use the iPad because why? They don't have that little resources they eat. Then talk about finding means to charge iPad or iPhone or whatever they need to have. So these are things that people are going to be. So the expectation of Liberians are more. But we know that it's not going to happen in 1 month time. It's not going to happen in 2 months time. But the way you plan and the way you sell your programs to the people, that's how your government will continue to be popular. But a few months towards the actuality of things, before things start coming to fruition, if you don't manage it well, you don't have people to sell your program well. You have noise maker. Let me tell you something. The media, the Liberian media is unique. And people don't know that. We know one another, right? All the social media, they know one another. So you make the mistake and take the very dummy and put it over, like, for example, information. Then you damage your government for good. So that's a key issue that people will be watching out for. Who you appoint to that position will matter most, because the Minister of Information, the press secretary from the office of the president, these are the people who should be not just damage control, but people who will look at policy programs and begin to sell those things to the public in a very organized, respectable way. All right. Now, your foreign minister, who's going to be foreign minister under you? We don't know. It is your prerogative. After all of the small process over, you get inaugurated. It is your prerogative to name your foreign minister. I know you're supposed to name your foreign minister before even you get inaugurated. I know that for sure. Because you should be the foreign minister is a very big area, right? You're dealing with a word. So it depends on who you're going to put to the places. So that's some of the things we're going to be keeping our eyes on. Who are the people who are going to be getting the government? It's just Joseph Boakai himself. There are a few key issues that are of concern still. The protocol not beyond George, where is he going to do it? Is there going to be a war crime court in Liberia? That would be a tough one, right, for Joseph Boakai. Because guess what? You want to have a war crime court too much, you can't leave Ellen Johnson study out, and these are the real tight situations. You want to have a war crime court, you're going to be talking about plenty of people. You can't leave Prince Johnson out, and Prince Johnson is like the kingmaker. Whether you like it or not, Prince Johnson was a kingmaker for Joseph Boakai. It's Prince Johnson's strategy that brought Joseph Boakai to power. If Prince Johnson would have gone just Joe Weah's way, Weah would have still maintained his position. Half fight. I don't like Prince Johnson. I'm not a fan of Prince Johnson, but it's just a half fight. Prince Johnson get a number. He got Nima people still believe in him. Nima people vote crazy, like they don't know that the Prince Johnson has a war crime issue hanging over him. So how are you going to manage these things? Will also set some stage for you. Is there going to be a war crime court? Are you going to be advocating that people who cause 250,000 human beings that go underground prematurely account for their deeds? It's going to be a tough thing. It's easy with all of the fanfare, the campaign, the this and that, but the reality setting in gradually. We were telling people that after all of those things, Liberian people are not going to get too much involved into this thing. They're not going to be watching out now. They're going to be crossing the north behind you. Where is the war crime code? Economic crime code. Is there going to be an economic crime code? Are you going to say, well, we're going to look into the records of the Unity Party, 12 years? Because how will you go behind Joe Weah when you can't go behind the first person that people complain about? No car. The oil blast. What happened? Are you going to go after those people? It's going to be difficult, right? Because guess what? Somebody said something, I started laughing. American just did a PowerPoint presentation. Other people are calling him hero. Just PowerPoint presentation. You know, they take figures from tally sheet and you put it in a computer and then you just write a PowerPoint. I don't blame the people. I don't blame people, right? Because if you can't do PowerPoint, so you see this thing like a big issue. American, yeah, he's smart. He been whatever. Yeah, if I can tell, I don't know Amara to say, well, he's going to be there. But Amara himself, he been finance minister before of Liberia. To be finance minister, if there's any audit, that's one of those persons who have to answer the questions. True or false? Or elections won now because you have a president that you like, so you don't care any longer for the things that hampered the country yesterday. No, two-way radio going to be one of the toughest times this time. We're not going to go after people, right? No, that's not my intention. I'm a trained communication person. Besides, I have a legal mind. So when I'm talking to you, I'm careful. So you want to challenge me, bring the half facts, right? But what I'm saying to you, if Joseph Boakai will ever think about auditing, he cannot think about auditing George Weah without auditing. In fact, there are a lot of audit reports on the shelf. Is he going to take those things and start looking into them? Is he going to close his eyes and say, even though I was part of that government, we said those things yesterday, right? During the campaign, before even the campaign started, we said it. Joseph Boakai was part of the government, but there's a clever way he can draw that thin line. That thin line he can draw if he wants to, and meet the aspiration of Liberians. But it will be somehow difficult to do that. Because guess what? Someone who enjoy, Liberian, there's something happening in this campaign, and maybe some are going to be taking the thing one at a time. I'll just bring some general discussion this morning. People started looking at things from a broader perspective, and some of them don't even care to look at the merit and the demerits of issues. And some of them get on Facebook and post something. Sometimes when you posting, guess what? There are people who sitting down reading and knowing who you. Because when you post, and your post make no sense. There are people who are not going to be talking. Not people are going to come on your post and tell you the thing doing you even harm yourself. But people know your thought. When you put a few words, then they know the rest of the thing that inside you that you don't want to put out. So importantly, to talk about audit, which of course is one thing Liberians want. Liberians want government to be audited. People must give account of their stewardship. How is George, I'm not George, oh my God, George, forgive me. You almost are. How is Joseph Boakai going to deal with these things? There are series of steps that he was taking, and we start saying, "Oh, yeah, the old man is very serious. Yeah, he already prepared to change Liberia." But there are steps he would take. People will start condemning him. And Liberian people are good at that. I always made mention of Bagos. I start with Bagos when I'm talking. See, I will always keep saying it because it had a lot of sense to me. Liberia, you don't take them for granted. Don't mind them clapping today. Tomorrow, the same people say, wow, crucify him. So the action you're going to be taking, they will be sitting there watching you. And someone that will start talking early, someone that will not start talking, someone will wait from 1 year, someone after 2 years, then they better get back on you. But guess what? There are individuals who are not truthful. As long as you don't give them what they want, Joseph Boakai, they will go all after you. These kind of people, you must be careful with them. People, when you listen to people who are speaking truth to you, listen to those people. But people who have blackmail other people, and you think they can blackmail you tomorrow, you make a serious mistake. Because the moment they don't get what they want, trust me, they're going to get on your back. So we're going to be giving some this. We'll get written some stuff. We're going to give some real advice after the election commission has come up with a final result, and we know for certainty that Joseph Boakai is indeed the president-elect. Then we're going to be giving some pieces of advice on our own platform, and those who will be listening, we will be very honest about things. We're not here to say we're going to pull anybody down, but trust me, if Joseph Boakai cannot start audit, we would think he's sleeping, and he cannot go after. For example, right? People Prince Johnson. In fact, Prince Johnson, I mean, not like Prince Johnson, but he said some real things, which may be the foundation of Boakai's maybe 100 days plan, right? People printed money, the country's money, how they manage it, how they do it, like people don't know about it. So it's good that Prince Johnson always still got re-elected. So they all being part of the king-making proceeding that went on. They will be saying that we're looking up to people to say, well, okay, you know what? We want a full detail of the money that was printed, how much was infused into the economy, how much is still there. We want to know. If necessary, you go for such and seizure. You go into people. If you can't give account, go into people's homes. Go into people's home. If you have to go to Georgia home and go check whether you get billions of dollars in there, there should be nothing that should stop anybody from doing those things. Because they should have been aware that one day they will give account to the people of Liberia. And the only way to do it is after the kind of elections. And Liberia begin to think. But those things will not happen if you don't have a tangible government, a responsible government, a government that will say, well, we're not here for ourselves, but we're here to make the difference. Joseph Boakai, you don't get a long time on this earth. I mean, I say it with certainty. It's nothing about somebody wishing anybody evil. Like you don't have more time on this earth, but you can make the big difference. You can set another foundation like we never dream about. Nobody say go wish on anybody. No, you can't go wish on George Weah. Don't go after things that by the time you start, someone know you wish on George Weah will come after you too, George or Joseph Boakai. But if you're doing it the right way, we all will be here to promote your policies and programs. But if you're doing it because you feel like some kids or some people, somebody sitting somewhere who should be probably in school telling you to do it, and you go and do it, and you don't give it. I mean, I know I respect that a lot of people around the Unity Party. I don't want to call names here. I respect a lot of people in there. But in the same vein, there are some people over there know they shouldn't be close to president because they don't have the intelligence to give a better advice. Yes, they shouldn't. They're selling people. You get a job, but that job should be far away from the executive mansion. Or else, there's some, government is hard. The people can make decisions and people can advise president. After plenty noise coming, the president here, the president sit down, so you take a wrong decision. All right. So we're expecting a lot of things from you guys. And this is how we want to say Liberia can get better. It can get better with serious minded people. Who's going to be the DA boss? That will begin to set the foundation to say, well, I will stop drugs from entering Liberia. You don't walk crooks in the play, or you don't know because somebody has been taking drugs, then that person can be the better person. If anything I would see that made me drug, that made me DEA person. Because guess what I would do first? My sister, what I would do first, I would take drug tests so everybody can know that, yeah, I'm taking drug tests. From there, I'll meet the president when I was saying, Mr. President, you have to do the right thing. We have to do, we want you to publicly take your drug test. Do the president take a drug test? We'll publish your result. From there, we'll go to the legislature. My people will send a stage here. So what you have to do, say, I want the entire legislative body will have to do a drug test. We want to make Liberia to be respected in the international community. So we did a little thing like, okay, so the legislature agree, we'll set up everything, go while they come and do that drug test. From there, any minister in government, you go do a drug test. So when we do all of these things, we're talking about the children and the old people or the people, young people who are already sport, then we start going to them. When we finish now, then we say, well, okay, we will maybe talk to the American government or friendly countries. We'll get some real German shepherds in the country. We'll get German shepherd in the country. When the people sleep, we'll get German shepherd. Negro town, we map Negro town. We'll do it like Israel, right? The way to come, how you call it? Gaza. So you get a Negro town, you comb the entire place. Put those German shepherds in the place there. Before that, I say you announce to everybody in that place, you get drugs, please turn it over. You don't do it when we come after you, we'll come after you with full force. So then you put German shepherds in the places and you recruit some very young people. People make a lot of mistakes every time. They think that the old crooks are the ones who can change it. You can't do that. You see America here? There's certain age you reach people. In fact, someone here said there's certain job we can't do easily. You go to the big something you want, certain job, you see it there. People make decisions based on age. They talk about it's a hard fight. Certain age you do, they won't get certain job. You see, they put military here. That certain age you reach, you can't go in that military. All of that big senior, you can't do it. So take advantage of the young people. There are a lot of more smart young people in the country. What do you do? I'm not talking the way Joe we are there, young people, so Koji and other people, all those things. I don't want to go too much into where we are. Let him take his own exit easily, right? But his own mistakes he made is what got him where he is. So the same thing. So if you do those things, take young people, just take young people. Young people who not smoking, who not doing drugs, take them. Just get them, maybe make them kid whatever nomenclature you create at the place that you put them in the communities. All you do is you want to know who are those selling drugs every time. Get a list of those people. When you get a list of those people, and then you say, okay, you start going after them. Someone who don't have you carry your dogs in the place there. Even forget about German Shepherd. Our Labrador dogs can be trained. Those things you can strip the other way around. People say, what do you call it stuff? Glue, right? Glue. Boakai know about that. Glue. Those who can. I don't want to say it. Okay, so you can train that whole mentality into something. Get some of the little dog. We used to go hunt every Saturday in Virginia there, so I know how people can train dogs. We just overlook plenty of things in that country. You train dogs can go and hunt for deer. So you can train dogs to go and hunt for, these kind of substances. So when people don't want to do it, you can carry a dog in the place. Just carry a dog right in someone surrounding. If they've been trained, they will find a drug. When they find a drug, they are maybe on the side. You know how to go for such and such warrant. As long as you own a kind of mission, you are viral by them, so you go there, you put a door in the house. Right? By the time you start doing this thing, then you put fear in the people, then at the put an entry, you start taking real action on things. Okay, that's not the topic for today. The topic for today is not about anything else. We're looking at the final runoff result is still expected. Joseph Boakai is not yet president of Liberia. He is the presumed president-elect. He is not yet president-elect. Why? Because we want to respect the Constitution. The Election Commission should announce who is president of Liberia, not because Joe Weah has dropped. The guy called that drop, right? Yeah. He said no, he can't make it. So they say Koji invest with Joe Weah. Well, whether that one or true is up to him. Koji invest with Joe Weah. Joe Weah say, me, I want trouble. I want to be one of the presidents where, whether you gone to do plenty of things. And I respect Joe Weah for that. Let me be honest, beside all other things, that was honorable of a man. That was very honorable of a man. You look at things for that, to be a president, the ego that go over, the respect that go over, for George Weah to take that position, he must be respected just for that act. That, we're talking about other stuff, right? That's what I said. When people do the right thing, you praise them for doing it. I'm not a fan of George Weah, right? But that was honorable of George Weah to get up and say, well, maybe some of us again, we do a lot of reading. We know plenty of things that happen behind the scene. Even if somebody coerced him, if he had some forceful call that went to him, whatever the case, but for him to even agree, even if somebody advised, maybe his wife would have said, look, see how leave the people think, yeah, just drop out. We can still survive. They come after whatever, we can still make it. Give it up. You still get future. Honorable decision. You will tell your wife, maybe, real tough African marriages where you say, hey, when you say that thing to me again, it'll be a different thing. Right? But he didn't mind all those things. That shows some differences of this man. That's humility. Right? That's came from him. And we must commend him for that. That was the bold step that George Weah took. He must be commended for that. I can say and say, well, we can look at other fighters and something and what have you, but for a president to know what it means to leave power, that was honorable of him. And we must commend him for that. There's no if and about it. We commend George Weah for saying, well, with all of the numbers coming in, I believe I can make it. So, congratulate Joseph Boakai. Yeah, technical people want to be low technical, but well, that's the man. That's how he feels. That's how you want to do it. He could still keep all of those decisions until other election commission announces the result and say it. But I mean, it's just profound. Just go for him. I mean, that was one of the best decisions. But guess what? Because all of the young people who could be taking rock stones and waiting to go and break down stools and other stuff, he broke their wing. He weakened them. So at the end of the day, that's a peaceful way of handling the situation. And we just want to say, hey, George Weah will say, well, hats off to that. That decision, that's supporting for that 100%. That was the honorable decision, Mr. President. Okay, so big among them, that's what about a runoff election is still expected. Election Commission is still working. We don't think because George Weah spoke, so they say, okay, we just take everything and trash it down. No, there must be a historical result that will say election was won by Joseph Boakai with this, and George Weah lose with this, and these are the result of the election. All right. So unto them, yeah, we'll keep eyes on everything. Keep eyes on everything that's happening in Liberia. So I want to say bravo to all of you who campaign with no problem. The nation as a whole, that was a peaceful way of handling the situation in Liberia. Everybody, we all were, suspecting that there would have been some crisis, but there's no crisis. Peaceful. And to the commissioners, you all are doing extremely well. Everybody felt, you're surprising everybody, which made good. I mean, we all say bravo to all of you. Bravo. There's nothing else we can say. You've done your job. You are doing your job. It's good to say it because it happened. There might be some small errors and other stuff, but in no way that people will say those things that will happen, they are not the bigger picture. So the bigger picture in Liberia had a peaceful election. We listen to radio station when people are saying those things. It's a joy, right? It's a peaceful way of saying Liberia too can make history. Liberia been making history from the foundation of the world. So at this time, there's just another thing. So George Weah himself will be remembered for that. There was a president who, after he saw the numbers, he considered defeat and told his partisans to respect the will of the people. And, good, awesome. Nothing we can talk about much about that. That's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we want to come to the close of this cutting. Let's keep talking about Liberia. If Liberia get better, the entire world will not focus so much on that part of the world. There's so much crisis in the world. If you're following things, my dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, you will know that a lot of things going on in the world. So there's no need for crisis. Everybody should be thinking what to do. How can you change situation around? You can change your own life around. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. A lot going on. The world is not the world of yesterday. You're not going to know it. Some people say, well, me, I don't listen. I listen to some of my friends say, I don't like to listen to news. So I listen that I can get frustrated. Oh, really? You need to listen to news every time because guess what? There are things that are happening every day you don't know about. You just you live like you live in a cave. I don't want to be that way. I like the news. I like to follow up events. You know, sometimes it's time consuming, but sometimes even your own development, you can get it from just this platform. The world is so unique today. You can learn, you can have self-education, but you don't want to do this thing when you're not familiar with the things that are happening, right? So for example, that's somebody's idea I'm using here, right? Somebody's idea. I'm here talking to people in Liberia, people around the world. It's not because those who did it, they were not sleeping people. They were people who are making research. Research. That's what somebody want to do. Liberian young people should be able to be taught, create an opportunity for Liberian to learn. So we can have engineers growing out of Liberia. You have scientists growing out of Liberia. You have the best of security people. You have people who can look at agriculture in a different sense. You know, with all that going on around now, sometimes you don't need to go and do other things. There's so much technology that is developing that even you can all you need to be serious and be able to ask the right question and you get things done. All right. So that's how I want to come. We have 3 more minutes. So that's how we want to come to the close of today's discussion. It's not going to be very easy to have success to develop Liberia. Joseph Boakai is not going to do all. Don't deceive yourself. But if you start in a very good way, just by even appointing his cabinet, he can make a difference. He can make a difference. So you see, I touched a lot of things this morning, right? Talk about runoff election. We talk about some of the things that Liberian expectation. Talking about some of the things that went on with even the runoff process from a different political party. Wondering how Joseph is going to deal with campaign financing. And is he going to start with audits of the governments? What are you going to do? We keep eyes on all of those things and we say, hey, until then, that's why I want to keep talking. You have any issue that you think we can all discuss together? We want to be part of the global community is all ours. Talk about climate change. Is Joseph Boy going to find a way and say, well, we will relocate Morovia? Or not even the entire Morovia, we're going to relocate maybe West Point. That's always my focus. And there's a lot of attention on Africa. There's serious climate crisis today, and nobody should sit in that country and say, well, it will not reach or the people wishing, just always thinking about, they kind of think that no, we can't sit and wait. There must be steps taken so that when those times come, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, thank God we took these actions. Okay, so we're going to be watching for a lot of things. We're going to be talking some things. Those who get ears to listen, they will listen. Those who think they're going to be sycophant the same way they were doing job, they're going to do the Joseph Boakai is up to all of you guys. But guess what? Even Joseph job, if you want to listen, the Liberian people were all involved in discussing the issues, the different platforms. Everybody is involved in Liberian, especially those of us outside Liberia. We have so much time, visit time. But guess what? We will keep eyes on everything. Because why? Transformation should be for everybody. Okay? So that's how I want to come to the close of today's program. I want to say it was a pleasure watching us. All you have to do for us, kindly do us a favor. You can like this broadcast. You can make your comment or just share. Share. Somebody may want some information. For example, there are a few things we say here will concern people who name we call. We want them to hear these things so they themselves can make that comment. Or they want to come and respond to some of the things we have said. We will get an opportunity to do so. Okay? So that's how I want to come to a close of today's program. I want to say it was a nice time to have all of you here. Until next time, be my guest always. We love each and every one of you. Let's keep discussing the issue. Liberia should be better. And how you can get better is to start discussing the matter and make sure people get to know the truth of the matter. So, have a pleasant and a wonderful day. I am James Jensen. The Two-Way Radio is an African Action Network, one of the most independent voice that you will hear on social media concerning Liberia and issues of the world. Thank you. Have a pleasant and wonderful day. Bye for now. Are you calling me? Really? So this starts for.